if you could tell me what this paragraph is about using like 3 to 4 words or 2 to 3 words, what would it be?
Beaver hat.
Beaver hats보다는 what's the material called?
Beaver pelts.
Which is wool. All right, you're not wrong. Don't worry, you're not wrong. But 그거보다 상위 개념, 더 일반적인 개념은 wool. Okay, wool hats. Okay, very good. And they were made principally from beaver pelts. Okay, 좋아요, 맞아요. All right. What was good about beaver fur? Why did they use beaver fur to make hats?
It was long-lasting and waterproof.
Okay, very good. What does it mean that a material lasts long?
상하지 않는다.
Okay, good. So you can wear it for a long time, for many years maybe even. Okay. All right, and then what was the problem of using beaver fur for hats?
영어로 해요?
Definitely.
Since lots of people wanted the population decrease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which population decreased?
European beaver population.
Okay, all right. So the number of beavers in Europe became smaller and smaller because they killed many animals, many beavers to make hats. Okay? Okay, all right. 여기서 I made a little, it was a little confusing here for you, but what I said before, I mean, it was wool hats, right? And beaver hats. Two kinds of hats that are mentioned in this paragraph, okay? All right, good. All right, that's enough for reading out loud. Let's look at the last two paragraphs together, all right? By the beginning of the 18th century, hat making had become one of New England's most important industries. The city of Danbury, Connecticut, would eventually become the largest center of hat making in the colonies, producing as many as 5 million hats in a single year. Okay, so what is this paragraph talking about mainly?
Danbury.
What's so special about Danbury?
Became the largest center of hat making.
Good, very good. Okay, so a lot of hats were made in this city in the state of Connecticut. Okay. Exported from the colonies. What does that mean? Hats were being exported from the colonies.
colonies에서 수출.
Exactly. All right. So in English, the colonies were making hats and selling them to other parts, other regions, other countries. Okay. And these colonies are in the States, okay, in the US, in North America. All right. And it says that this fact aroused uneasiness among hatters in England. Why do you think that was?
Because American hats were better than hats made in England.
That could be one of the reasons. Very good. And also because it says here insufficient numbers, right? So they're making a lot. They're making enough hats that they sell them also probably in England. So the hat makers in England are worried that they probably can't sell enough hats. Okay, because people are buying ones that are being exported from the colonies. Okay, All right. So Parliament, they passed a law. What kind of law did they pass? What did the law say?
어, not allowing colony to um, sell hats to other
Mhm.
countries.
Very good. Yes. And specifically, it's among the colonies of Great Britain, right? From one colony to another, they cannot sell. So they can sell hats within the colony, but they can't sell to another colony. And what's the other one? A colony cannot sell to?
Great Britain.
Exactly. All right. 식민지끼리 사고 팔 수 없고, 영국에도 팔 수 없는. Okay. And prohibit, very good. You use not allow. All right, good. And then the Hat Act of 1732 also placed limits on the number of workers American hat makers could hire. Can you explain that in your own words?
어, 영어로 해야 되나요?
Yes, of course.
어, the law made people
Mhm.
um, have like uh,
Okay, so imagine you're a hat maker during that time, okay? What can't you do according to this law that you could do before?
um, selling to other countries.
Okay, that was this part. Yeah, we already went through this part. Okay, the part I'm asking you is about this part. Okay,
좀
let's say, yeah, go ahead.
아니 뭐 직원을 더 못 뽑았다 이런 얘기 같은데.
Yes, okay, good. All right. So if you could hire, let's say, I don't know, let's say 20 people to work for you making hats, now you can probably only hire a fewer number of people. Okay? All right, good. Good to know that you understand. I'm trying to get you to practice your English. Okay? All right. But that's okay. All right. Remember demands? Yeah? The demand for hats increased. Okay? It says here consumer demand. Who are the consumers?
People who buy the hats.
Very good. All right. Okay, which title best expresses the main idea of this selection? Okay, remember the first part was about the industry, the hat making industry, right? And when it started and that it grew. Okay, and then there were some details about why people wanted to wear hats. Okay, remember the second paragraph? What was that about?
Wool,
Wool hats and?
beaver,
Yes, very good. And it compared both materials and it also explained what happened to the beavers because beaver hats were so popular. Okay, good. And then the third paragraph, what was that about?
Danbury,
Yes, about Danbury, but what about Danbury? What's more important?
largest center of hat making.
Yes, exactly. They made so many hats that they became the center of hat making, of the hat making industry. Okay, and then the last paragraph.
The law about not allowing colonies to sell hats to another colony.
Exactly. And by placing a limit on the number of workers a hat maker could hire, they made sure that they didn't make as many hats. Okay? So remember the flow, okay? Remember the main parts of each paragraph. Hat making was an industry that grew and grew. Okay, it started in 1640 or early as 1640 and it grew and grew. They made it out of these kinds of materials. And because it became so popular and the industry was flourishing, it was doing so well, England had to place limits. Okay, right? Okay, remember that outline. Remember those main ideas and try to solve number 1. Which title best expresses the main idea of this selection?
C.
Yes, very good. C is the answer. You chose hat making around the world. How come this one is the wrong answer?
Because it's not about around the world.
Exactly. This part is wrong. Okay, good. And then here, colonial exports. This part, our text, our passage, is only about hats, the hat industry, and it has a little bit about hats being exported, but it's not about any other exports that were manufactured in the colonies, okay? And then, kinds of American hats. The main idea is not what kinds of hats they made in America, right? Okay, and D, how colonial hats were made. It didn't explain. Our selection, the text selection, didn't explain how hats were made, right? They only told us what material they were made from, but the main idea is about the industry. Okay, good. Very good.